Hi guys, it is Saturday today and it is prep day. And today's prep is very different from the ones that I've shown in the past because usually I do a barf prep with lots of different muscle meat and bone items and stuff like that. But it's been very busy around the house lately, so I decided I'd show you what I do when I don't have the time or when the shops that I order my raw food from don't have the same amount of stuff that they usually have. This time around, both of those things were the case. I couldn't find the ingredients that I wanted, I couldn't find enough variety, and yeah, it's been crazy busy. So I bought 30 kilograms of raw, 2 varieties, and I did a meal prep 2 weeks ago of 10 meals for each dog, 10 days worth of food for each dog. And I'm doing it again today, and I thought I'd run you through the process. So this is the pre-made raw that we've got. I am thawing 4 rolls of the wild, which means game, and 8 rolls of the active, which means active. I've got a couple thawing in the water already for Hunter. These are thawing in cold water, and I've got 2 more upstairs. And I just took these out for the girls so that I can continue prepping once I'm done with Hunters. I don't want them to be out of the freezer for too long. As soon as they're thawed enough, I can start. Now the active variety has beef, chicken, lamb and goat, and the lamb and goat are higher in fat, which is a nice contrast to the game variety, which has deer, pheasant, dove and goose, I think. Those are all more lean meats, and this also means that I think we have 1 variety of white meat and the rest are all red meats. And that's what I prefer, to have a lot of red meat in there. And I'm combining this pre-made raw with some chicken wing pieces, some vegetables that I will be steaming, and some berries. I've got some blueberries in the freezer still. So I'm basically cleaning out the freezer. Last time I did this prep, I had some organic chicken feet left. I don't have those, and I checked the freezer, but I don't have any bone left. So I went to the store, bought some pieces of chicken wings, 2 kilograms. I'll be using 12 kilograms of pre-made raw. Now this prep today doesn't follow NRC guidelines because the pre-made raw that I'm using, I don't know the exact amounts of liver and kidney and stuff that is in there. It is a pre-made raw that my dogs have amazing stools on, so that's why I use it, why I love using it. It also comes from the Netherlands, it's made here in the country, and I have always liked their products. I also like the kibble that they make. I use it a lot for training. So that's why I choose this product, but I am thinking about, okay, what is in there for sure and what is not in there for sure, and for that reason I'm adding a couple of seeds and berries and vegetables, and I also have some supplements for the dogs. And I just want to say that you shouldn't take this video as advice of a balanced diet, but you can see it as a way of prepping and a way of feeding. If you want some good advice on diets, I would recommend reaching out to Ronnie Lejeune. I don't know if that's how I pronounce her name, but Ronnie at Perfectly Rawsome and her team. They provide some amazing information. They provide help with, they can even do consults on the phone. So definitely check out their website. I've loved following along on their journey in becoming certified and their educational journey. It's been amazing to see the website develop and stuff. So yeah, that's where I get my information. That's how I try to follow feeding my dogs. If I have the time, I do the NRC guidelines, I follow it all. I don't always do that. I sometimes just follow the BARF guidelines with the supplements added to make sure that my dogs get all the nutrition they need. Right now though, I don't have the time. I don't have a lot of time at all, so I try to do pre-made raw with some toppings that at least ensure that they still have good stools and they still get, I think they get, including the fish that I'll be adding day to day, they will have 9 types of protein, which is good, 9 types of animal species. So then along with the pre-made raw, I've got some vegetables going. This pumpkin I'm cutting up, it's an organic pumpkin, I'm leaving the skin on. I'll be steaming it here, and that will be pureed. And I've got some broccoli that I'm also steaming in small cubes, and I will just add that as pieces to the meal. And then I'm adding blueberries, like I said. I picked up some chicken wings from the store nearby. There's 2 kilograms. I'm adding these just so the dogs have something to chew on each meal. And I bought some hemp seeds because I like to include some seeds in their diet every single time. And I didn't make a vegetable blend that included seeds and berries, so I'm adding the berries and the seeds separately. So I've got hemp seeds, and I think I'll puree some almonds, or I've got some chia seeds or sunflower seeds as well to go along with the meals. So yeah, there you go. Now over here in this small cupboard, we have some muscle supplements for the dogs. I've also got their fish oil, which is a sardine oil, and some magnesium powder. All of this also includes zinc and stuff like that, so this adds up to the nutrients that they get, to the minerals and vitamins, so that's something I also take into account. And behind there I've got some kelp that is also added twice a week. Now fish I add twice a week or so as a topper to the meals. I don't freeze it with the meat, because if meat and fish thaw together, something can happen that I think breaks down thiamine. And I think there's various articles that contradict one another, but it's never bad to add fish separately, so that's what I do. Now rather than measuring every container by hand, I take a couple of bowls and I add the amount of one type of pre-made raw and the other pre-made raw that one dog can have over the amount of days that I'm prepping for. And then I basically add a 1/12 of each type to each container. So I have 4 kilograms of one variety of pre-made raw and 8 kilograms of the other. I make a calculation ensuring that each dog gets a same balance of each variety, so a specific percentage of that 4 and that 8 kilograms, something that I will explain in the future in a different video, how I calculate it. And then I weigh that off, that amount, and then I spread it over the 12 containers without weighing each container separately. So that's weighing one time rather than weighing for each container, which I have 12 of per dog this time around. Makes it a lot faster, and as long as your dog gets, like as long as it's approximately equal, it will balance itself out over time. So that's nothing to really worry about, and that should be fine. What I always do when I measure out their organ for 30-day prep, I basically cut it up into 30 pieces or 15 pieces if I do it every other day, and that's approximate, and it will even itself out over time, especially with adult dogs. That is totally okay. So I'm now off to steam those vegetables, to puree the pumpkin, and to get the blueberries from the freezer. And by that time, I think the pre-made raw will be thawed. I'll weigh it for Hunter, the game part and the active pre-made raw part. And then I'll also grab the chicken wings, and I'll show you that I add everything to the containers. To throw out part of the broccoli because it was black on the inside, so I kept the rest that looked good, and I had some zucchini or courgette in the fridge, and that I'll be adding, and I'll see if I either just steam it or also puree it, because we'll have the pumpkin puree, and this combined is also almost the same amount, so I guess I'll just puree that and the pumpkin separately, and then they'll either have green or orange vegetables depending on the day. all the ingredients weighed out and ready to go. This is 3 kilograms of a pre-made raw with beef, lamb, goat and chicken. This is 1.5 kilograms of a pre-made raw with 4 types of game. We've got 800 grams of chicken wings. We've got blueberries over here, 5 each day. And over here we've got the vegetable blends, and this is the total amount of veg that I'll be using for all 3 dogs. By the way, I didn't measure those out separately. And here's the 12 containers. So let's get started. Alright, so that is a very simple prep. As you can see, it's all done. So I only weighed what I put into these bowls. I did not weigh every single container. I find it easier that way. Yes, some portions will be smaller than others, but that doesn't really matter a whole lot. If a day has an extreme amount of exercise, we can always add some kibble or something like an egg or something, some fish. But yeah, so these are the basic meals. I am adding, this is Hunter's portion of food. I am adding his muscle supplement here, just muscle recovery supplement, and I'm adding kelp for iodine levels which aren't high enough in the diet, and I'm adding just a tiny amount of this to every single container, and a daily amount of this to every single container as well. Now these hemp seeds I didn't add yet. They will have to soak overnight. I didn't have them at home yesterday, so I couldn't soak them and add them today, but I will be soaking them. So probably I will blend enough for 1 week and then add them every single day. Alright, so that is how I do a very simple meal prep when I don't have the time. I really like doing preps like these because I can actually split them up. Like this afternoon I had time for 1 prep, but I want to do some more work. And then in the evening I can finish the girls' prep, and I can just have the meat thaw in the fridge or in cold water as I need it, and then start when I have the time. So I'm now going to put 2 of the containers into the fridge, 1 for tonight, 1 for tomorrow, and the other 10 will go in the freezer. And then I take out a container 48 hours in advance, because since it is winter, it's quite cold in the house and the fridge works extra hard. We don't put it on a more gentle setting. The fridge is at around 1 degree, which is a lot better for whatever you keep in the fridge. It will keep for longer, but it also means that the meat doesn't really thaw that quickly. So it means that when I feed 1 meal, I take out the container for 2 days later, and then it's probably not even fully thawed. So yeah, I often get the question, do you freeze this? Yes, I freeze all the meals except for the ones that I'm feeding that day and the day after. The rest goes in the freezer. I have the freezer set to a very low temperature as well, so that can be kept as long as possible as well. So yeah, It's a different type of video than what I usually post. I also filmed everything on my iPhone. I hope that the footage is okay, that the audio is okay. Still have to invest in a better lens from a new camera. I have to have a 50mm, and for those of you who have taken pictures with a DSLR or a system camera, which is what this is before, know that that's quite zoomed in. You can't vlog with that. I need to have a shorter lens, so yeah, that will come in a year, so not gonna spend a lot of money on that now. And I also need a microphone. But yeah, the iPhone is surprisingly good. So sometimes you see some better footage in my videos that is filmed on my new camera, but with the original lens. So yeah, I can't use it for everything. But it was fun filming this one, and it was not as difficult to film it either. So yeah, I had fun. I hope you guys like it as well. This video will go up tomorrow, and I'll see how much time I have for other videos the upcoming time. Might just be on Sundays, sometimes a Tuesday and a Thursday video. It will be all over the place, but I hope you guys have fun watching whatever we upload. All right, for now, have fun with your dogs this week, and we will hopefully see you again on Sunday or maybe sometime in between. Goodbye. Finish? Come on, Joe.